Everybody keeps asking the same question right now. Should I buy now? Should I sell now? Or should I wait? And what's crazy is most people are getting advice from people who haven't even adapted to what's happening in the Ontario real estate market right now. You're going to want to watch this entire video because one of the biggest mistakes people are making right now is assuming the market will magically rebound overnight. Let's get into it. Take a look at this. For the first time in almost 10 years, buyers actually have leverage again. Nearly 50,000 listings hit the market in Ontario recently. Properties are sitting longer, price reductions are increasing, power of sale listings are rising, and million-dollar homes are losing momentum fast. But here's the dangerous part. Most people still think we're in the same market from 2021. We are not. And if you don't understand this shift, you could either lose money or completely miss one of the biggest opportunities we've seen in years. So in this video, I'm going to break down what's really happening in the Ontario housing market, why buyers suddenly have negotiating power, why sellers are struggling, what smart investors are doing right now, and most importantly, whether you should buy, sell, wait, upgrade, or hold. And trust me, you're going to want to watch this entire video because one of the biggest mistakes people are making right now is assuming the market will magically rebound overnight. So first, we need to understand the shift. For years, Ontario real estate was driven by fear of missing out. Homes were getting 20 offers. People were buying properties without conditions. Prices were skyrocketing, and buyers felt pressure. Now, the pressure has shifted to sellers. This is powerful. What that means is buyers finally have time to think, time to negotiate, time to compare properties, time to ask for conditions, time to walk away. And sellers, many are still emotionally attached to 2021 pricing. That's why homes are sitting. The market has changed, but many sellers haven't changed with it yet. And this is where opportunity starts appearing. Why this is the best buyer's market in years. Now let's talk about buyers. Because if you are financially stable, this may actually become one of the best buying windows we've seen in a very long time. And before people attack me in the comments, listen carefully. I'm not saying prices can't fall further. They absolutely can in certain areas. But smart buyers don't wait for perfect timing. They look for leverage. And right now, buyers have leverage. Here's what's happening. You can negotiate more aggressively. You can ask for inspection conditions. You can negotiate closing dates. You can ask for repairs. You can ask for credits. You can sometimes negotiate below asking. That was almost impossible a few years ago. And here's another thing people aren't talking about enough. Mortgage rates have stabilized compared to the shock people experienced before. Now, yes, rates are still higher than the ultra-low pandemic rates, but buyers are adapting psychologically. And once people psychologically adapt, activity returns. This is why waiting for perfect conditions can sometimes backfire. Because by the time everyone feels safe again, competition usually comes back. The question everyone is asking. So let's answer the biggest question right now. Is this the bottom? Truthfully, nobody knows exactly where the absolute bottom is. Anybody pretending they know exactly what will happen is guessing. But here's what smart people understand. Real estate is less about timing the market perfectly and more about timing your situation properly. This is important. If you have stable income, manageable debt, a long-term mindset, and you find a property that fits your life and budget, waiting 6 months for a possible extra price drop may not change your life dramatically, but missing the right property or getting stuck competing later might. Now, obviously, if you're over leveraged, unstable financially, or buying emotionally, that's different. But strategic buyers are focusing on value right now, not hype, not emotions, not headlines, value. Why sellers are struggling. Now let's talk about sellers, because this is where a lot of people are getting blindsided. Many sellers still believe their home should sell based on what their neighbor got 2 or 3 years ago. That market is gone. Today, buyers have options, a lot of options. And when inventory rises, buyers become pickier. That means if your property is overpriced, poorly marketed, poorly staged, or not positioned correctly, buyers move on instantly. This is why some homes are sitting for 60, 90, even 120 days. Not necessarily because the home is bad, but because the strategy is wrong. Take a look at this. In this type of market, pricing slightly under market value can actually create more momentum than pricing high and chasing the market downward with price reductions, because repeated price reductions send psychological signals to buyers. Buyers start asking, what's wrong with the property? Why hasn't it sold? Can I get an even lower price? And that creates weakness. This is why strategy matters more than ever. The $1 million problem. One of the biggest shifts happening right now is in the luxury and higher price market. $1 million homes are slowing down significantly in many areas. Why? Simple, higher borrowing costs. Even small rate increases massively affect affordability at higher price points. So buyers who qualified for larger homes before either qualify for less now or are becoming more cautious. Meanwhile, homes under certain price points are still moving relatively faster, especially properties seen as affordable entry points. This is why pricing psychology matters so much right now. And if you're a seller in the higher end market, presentation becomes everything. Professional photos, virtual staging, video marketing, social media exposure, accurate pricing, negotiation strategy. Average marketing no longer works in an above average inventory market. Power of sale opportunities. Now let's talk about something that's becoming a major conversation. Power of sale listings. And no, this doesn't mean the world is ending, but it does signal pressure. Many homeowners and investors are renewing mortgages at significantly higher payments than they expected years ago. Some investors especially are getting squeezed hard. Higher mortgage payments, higher expenses, slower appreciation, softening rents in some areas. And because of that, more distressed properties are entering the market. Now here's where smart buyers pay attention. Not every power of sale is automatically a deal, but some absolutely can be. Especially if the property needs cosmetic work, the seller needs speed, or the listing has been sitting. This is where educated buyers can create serious opportunity, but you must do due diligence, inspection, financing review, market analysis, repair estimates, because emotion-free buying creates the best decisions. Should you rent or sell? A lot of homeowners are asking this question right now. Should I rent my property or should I sell? And honestly, there's no universal answer. But here's the framework smart homeowners are using. Number one, can the property carry itself financially? Meaning, after mortgage, taxes, insurance, maintenance, vacancies, does the math still make sense? Number two, what's your long-term goal? Are you trying to reduce stress, create cash flow, upgrade, hold long-term wealth, free up capital? Number three, can you emotionally handle being a landlord? Because a lot of people underestimate this part. And here's the truth. Sometimes holding makes sense. Sometimes selling makes sense. Sometimes restructuring your finances makes sense. But making emotional decisions based on fear usually creates bad outcomes. How to upgrade in this market? Now let's talk about people upgrading homes. This is actually one of the most misunderstood opportunities in this market. A lot of people are scared to sell because they think, what if my home sells for less? But they forget something important. If the market softened on your home, it likely softened on the more expensive home too. And the bigger the price point, the bigger the potential spread savings. This is powerful. Example, if your home drops by $80,000, but the home you want dropped by $180,000, you actually gain leverage upgrading. Most people only look at what they lost instead of what they gained on the purchase side. This is why strategy and math matter more than emotions. What happens next? So where does the market go from here? Here's my honest analysis. I believe we may continue seeing pressure in certain Ontario markets throughout 2026, especially in areas with heavy investor ownership, oversupply, or unrealistic seller expectations. But long term, Ontario still has major housing supply problems, population growth continues, housing starts remain below targets, and eventually inventory gets absorbed. Now, does that mean prices shoot back up tomorrow? No, but it does mean people waiting for a total collapse may also be disappointed. Real estate moves in cycles, and the people who usually win understand cycles before the crowd does. So here's the big takeaway from this video. This market is no longer about speed. It's about strategy. The buyers winning right now are educated, patient, prepared, negotiating intelligently. The sellers winning right now are realistic, properly positioned, and using strong marketing and pricing strategies. And the people losing are the ones making emotional decisions based on outdated information. So whether you're buying, selling, investing, or trying to figure out your next move, understand this. Opportunities exist in every market, but only for people who know how to recognize them. If you found value in this video, make sure you subscribe and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And I want you to comment below. If you had to make a move today, would you buy, sell, or wait? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. God bless. Before I let you go, here's a story almost nobody is paying attention to, and it might be the biggest wealth building signal in this entire update. It's happening right on the Brampton-Caledon border in what I call the Southwest Caledon corridor. And if you own or want to own anywhere near Mayfield Road, you need to hear this. Start with one number. Caledon is officially planned to grow from about 81,000 people to 300,000 by 2051. That's a 270% increase, one of the most aggressive growth plans anywhere in Ontario. And along with the people come 125,000 jobs. Where does most of that growth land first? Right here, the Southwest, along the Mayfield corridor, touching Northwest Brampton. Now let me show you what's actually being built. Number 1, Mayfield West Phase 2. Caledon has already expanded the settlement boundary by roughly 260 acres of developable land. This isn't just houses. The plan includes schools, parks, trail networks, and employment lands. Southfield's Village, which most people still think of as new, is about to get a much bigger sibling. Entire new neighborhoods are coming north of Mayfield. Number 2, Highway 413, 59 kilometers connecting Vaughan through Caledon and Brampton to Halton Hills, and it runs right through this corridor. The final environmental assessment report was published this March, and early works are already in design, including the Boulevard Drive underpass in Brampton slated for 2027-2028. Love it or hate it, here's the real estate reality. Major highway corridors historically pull development, jobs, and buyer demand toward them, years before the first car drives on the asphalt. Number 3, transit. Caledon has 2 future Joe stations identified on the Bolton Line, with provincial commitments behind Joe expansion. And this fall, Caledon launches an on-demand transit pilot serving Bolton, Caledon East, and Mayfield West. The commuter math for this area is changing fast. And number 4, the headline. Capital's Planning Committee just approved moving forward with a 36-acre commercial center at the northwest corner of Mayfield and Creditview. The anchor, a 167,000 square foot Costco plus a gas station, grocery store, restaurants, 10 buildings in total. Realistic opening window, early 2028. Why does a warehouse store matter to your home value? It's called the Costco effect. When Costco anchors a corridor, it signals to every other retailer, every builder, and every buyer that this area is about to pop. Families in Mayfield West, Snellgrove, Heart Lake, Countryside Villages, who currently drive 25 plus minutes for a Costco run, will have it in their backyard. So connect the dots. New neighborhoods, a new highway, new transit, a Costco anchored commercial hub, all landing in one corridor within the next few years. Here's the thing about real estate. The market prices in amenities before they open, not after. By the time the ribbon gets cut, the premium is already baked into the neighborhood. If you own near Mayfield today, you're sitting in a corridor that just received 4 separate votes of confidence. And if you've been waiting to buy in Northwest Brampton or South Caledon, this window, before it all opens, is exactly the timing smart buyers look for. If you want to know what all this means for your street and your home's value, my contact info is below. I'll run the numbers for you. No pressure, no obligation. And drop a comment. Which of these 4 projects moves the needle most for you? The 413, the Geo trains, the new communities, or the Costco? I wreck every single one. I'm Richard. See you next week with another update that actually affects your bottom line.